I'm so greasy. Will shower you. Josh came by and helped me load this up into the workroom, so now we're almost there. So now that I am showered and all greasy from Vaseline, now we have to power clean the house before my aunt gets here. My aunt will be here in a couple of hours. So we're gonna power clean the house. Watch. Oh my god, I'm literally so greasy. Can you see the shine? How are you doing on this beautiful Saturday? I just got off work. I'm doing amazing. Just got off work. I'm preparing for my aunt to come in from out of town. I haven't seen her in like 8 years because I live out here and she lives in Florida. Oh my god, I'm literally so greasy. Oh, yay, my Uncle Mark sent me the information. Be right back. I have to send my aunt, my other aunt's flight information. I'm Mr. Charisma, fucking Pablo Escobar. Good job, idiot. I just wanna be right where you are. Ooh. And then it's all in the darkness, I will never leave you. On the light of day, here we are. Run from the sunlight, Dracula. Okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2. My flight is way late. I'll call her. She stays up anyway. Okay. Man, Mara, you nailed that. My Aunt Mara was like, I'm just going to go show up when she gets off the plane. She can call me. She can wait 5 minutes. It's not going to hurt her to wait. She was like, if I show up on time, I just know it. Her plane is going to be late as hell. Sure enough, my Holly just messaged me. She's like, my plane is late. Okay, we're only going to be bringing the hard one tomorrow, so this one can get totally emptied. My friends all say, shut up, Jenny. Just get in the car. I just wanna be right where you are. Oh, yeah.
Let's go here. Andrew's wife, Rachel Wilson. She's a wife, a mother. She is not trad or conservative. Author of Feminism, The Secret History of the Women's Liberation. Interesting. That book actually. Anyway, let's jump in here. She says, LOL, no smoking. The most ridiculous thing you could possibly say. The most ridiculous thing you could possibly say. Typical woman. She's sitting there, she's just like, I had people smoking around me all through my 3 pregnancies. What is this nonsense? You don't want people to smoke around you? You snowflake? Oh my gosh. Jeez. That is such a crazy. This is the thing. She's on her husband's side, no matter, I assume married. She's on her husband's side no matter what. So she's just grasping at straws. Because this is just a dumb response. It's just unbelievable. Like, you know that she's pregnant. You know you're not supposed to smoke around pregnant women. You know that they're not supposed to smoke. They're not supposed to drink. Maybe you have bent the rules yourself in some way, shape, or fashion. We don't know. And, we listen, we don't judge. We'll make jokes, we'll laugh, but we won't judge. But I mean, it's just such a silly thing. Candace actually responds. Someone said, take the girl to the trailer. Can't take the trailer. Come on. Candace is just absolutely confused by this response. She's just like this is, how does this connect to me too? And Rachel doesn't know, but again, Rachel just has to defend her man. Okay? He's about to give up their life savings just to talk to this lady. You might as well go as hard as you possibly can. Rachel then says, yeah, who clutches their pearls about smoking? Zoomer soy boys, maybe? Or the type of women who report everything to HR? She just doubles down. She's like, yeah, that's right. What, you can't handle a little cigarette smoke? Hey, she looks kind of young. She's around my age. In the 1940s. What are you talking about? What are you saying right now? What? You can't handle a little smoke? What's the big deal? Come on. Your husband should put you in line. Obviously, you haven't been smacked around much. What's going on with you? Requesting that men don't smoke inside the rooms? You should be happy. Bring out a demonstrate for my husband. What's the matter with you? Come on. Just absolutely crazy response. Rachel's mid-50s. Okay. I keep thinking people are like, I can't tell. I think someone my age is like 24. And then I think someone my age is like 50. Like, I'm in this limbo. I can't figure it out. Okay. This is a soy boy who reports everything to HR then, because your husband will not be permitted to chain smoke around me. You know why she's also probably doing this? Because cigarettes are crazy addictive. And if you're somebody who can just chain smoke, like literally chain smoke, I almost went into chain smoke. I was on two, like one and then one right after. I got to that point. I wouldn't like continuously do it like some people I mean. He probably would be thrown off his game. He can't smoke. That's why he's also saying that like after an hour and a half, she needs a break. It's him that will need a break. She's completely sober. She doesn't need a break to walk around or anything like that. You've seen her do events with Charlie Kirk where they sit down for hours and just combat people. So she doesn't need that. And she's done it while she's pregnant. So she doesn't need that. It's him that's going to need the break. It's him that, and I've been a smoker. I can say it's a security blanket. It's a thing. It's it's a fixation. It's something that you need. And if you don't get it, you get a little antsy. Then you won't be able to handle yourself. I know exactly how this works. I was a smoker for years. My father was a smoker. I was a smoker. My brother was a smoker. I mean, just everybody around me. Not sure what kind of middle school peer pressure tactics these are, but I'm a 37-year-old adult mother of 5, and it's not going to work. What's happening right now? What's going on? I don't understand. What are you trying to pull off right now? She says, Candace, I'm 46 years old. She's 46. She's the same age as your parents. See, there you go. There you go. Someone said she was 50. How dare you make that mistake? Candace, I'm a 46-year-old mother of 5, and your yes isn't going to work on me either. I don't believe for one second that you thought Andrew was going to show up to an in-person debate and chain smokers next to you. I thought obviously that you were referring to a video debate if this was the stipulation. Now you're implying that I'm trying to pressure you into letting him smoke near you. Have you lost your mind? You can't be serious. This is so crazy. This is so weird, crazy. You know what this is right here? This is her husband correcting her, and she's acting like it didn't happen. That's what's happening right now. That's it. She caught on to what it was because she's just trying to jump in for her husband. That's it. She's just trying to defend her husband, and she doesn't know what's going on exactly. And now she's trying to gaslight. Exactly. Someone's just like, yeah, gaslighting. And now she's trying to gaslight, like as if it was like, what do you see? You think I actually thought in person? She thought this was in person. Candace was like, what's wrong with you? Then she says, who clutches her hair, clutches their pearls about smoking? Then she said, I'm a mother of 5, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to work on me. He's not chain smoking around me. Then she realized what was happening, and instead of just pulling back and saying, oh, because, I mean, think about how that would sound. She can't concede. Her husband is the grand debater. Or what are they called? The Crucible Geek Squad or whatever they're called? He's the head of the Crucible Geek Squad. He can't all of a sudden have his wife bow down to the person he's supposed to debate. He can't have that, you know? So instead, she acts like, whoa, what are you implying? What are you implying? Now Candace is the bad one. You're implying something crazy, Candace. All the way up here. There is a bunch of these things. So she got community of it. I'm glad I didn't engage. That is so funny. Have you lost your mind? You can't be serious with this. It's absurd. Wow. Then somebody readers added context. Candace never said he couldn't smoke virtually. She said he couldn't smoke around her or in her house in an in-person debate. Andrew's wife is trying to obfuscate the truth, but she either didn't listen to what was said or is blatantly lying. Wow. Oh, you can't see the tweet. Don't worry about it. I just read it to you. You need to see it and I read it to you at the same time? What's going on with you? You guys crazy? That's me trying to office. That's me pulling a Rachel right there. I didn't pull a Darren. What are you guys? I'm reading to you guys. I knew you couldn't see it. I was just reading it. I thought that was enough. But you guys are just ungrateful. You guys are ungrateful. I can't believe you thought that I thought you could see it when you couldn't. I knew. Yeah, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. And you're ungrateful. You should apologize to me for not being able to see the tweet. You know? Not making it up. It is a community note there. Since the whole post. So funny. Yeah, so there you have it. And then Candace actually responds. Are you sober right now? I just love it. You know, you have no idea. I just love it. Candace says, "Are you sober right now?" My exact counter offer was that he wanted to do the debate in person. He would need to come to me because I'm 7 months pregnant, and therefore would not be allowed to chain smoke. Then you started a trashy little public meltdown about him not being able to chain smoke. Capable of following this debate counter, you're all over the place. Are you sober right now? Is so insulting. Yeah. Are you good? Do you need someone to pick you up? That was one. Are you sober right now? That's two. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna be saying that to people now. I have to. Wow, she's not sober because if she is, she has severe language comprehension skills. And Candace says, I'm hoping she can try on some of that patriarchy. She reps it pretty. Would it be too much to ask her to shut up? Her husband negotiate his own business affairs? Oh goodness. Oh goodness gracious. You know? And then she said, and she has to because this is the persona that they built up. So Rachel, this is why she says, you're right. You know, it's happening. Because you know Andrew was like, stop. You look great, messed up. Oh my God, stop. It's hilarious. Man, so funny. You're right, Candace. She is right. You gotta let your husband do his thing. Can't be doing that. That is the beef right there. I can't wait to see this pan out a little more. We still have more Candace Owens stuff to go through. We have some Joe Rogan stuff to go through because Andrew Wilson did sit down with Joe Rogan. You guys tried to scare me, okay? But as far as I can see, there's no clip of Joe Rogan saying that the NDAA is the best thing ever for America. There's no clip of that. You guys tried to scare me. Like I had to eat my picture. I'm not eating my picture. I knew it. I knew he wouldn't do that. You know? He disappoints, but he doesn't always disappoint. Good wives has their husbands' backs. Good wives have back their husbands, not front them. Yeah, that's true. That's my wife saying that. There you go. There you go. Be quiet, honey. Be quiet, honey. I can handle my own live stream. You know? Oh my gosh. So funny. So funny. And shout out to you, honey. Hope you're doing all right. And we'll see you soon. I will see you soon. I will remember. I know we have a hard out. I remember. Even though I'm having a lot of fun right now. I can't believe I wasn't going to live stream today. How dare I even think that? So Blake Neff will be donating. Many other people will be donating as well. Apparently Andrew's community is going to be forced to donate $500,000, which is very fun. And they're going to act like it's not secretly coming from other sources. Very fun. Very fun. The whole acting like as if this is not an op on so many crazy levels is just mind-boggling to me. I mean, we can all see it. We all see it. And we'll say Candace versus Andrew's wife. You know? We'll just say Andrew's wife. That's what I'll put that down as. Just because, you know, she got schooled. Someone said, thank you, you needed this. Thank you. I needed this. I woke up and I was like, I'm just not going to do it. You know, sometimes you feel guilty. You know, it feels weird. And I usually have like 3 days where I just don't even step into this office. It's just, man. It's rough. Let's jump in here. Candace Owens has said something. We don't know what that something is yet. Of course I'm going to bring it something. Of course. This has nothing to do with anything. Candace she's just getting ready to debate. Uh-oh, looks like the Kushner swam and discovered another island. Beware, Iceland. They might start another passion project. They're in Iceland right now, having a good old time. How about that? Anyway, crazy. Candace Owens, ladies and gentlemen. Candace Owens, ladies and gentlemen. We will see if Andrew responds. We will see what he has to say. The last offer is on the table. We'll see if he actually takes it. I think a video debate is nonsense. I hope it doesn't turn into that. She should not take that. She should not have to take anything in desperation. They're offering you almost $1 million. They're putting all that on the table. So all that should be happening right now, all that should be happening is them saying yes. And I say them because to act like Turning Point's not involved is just silly. He said, I put in a request, and he said that it's official. He said he wanted to be the official person who handles everything. And he just did that for no money. All these people, and I'm the first to say it. I always say it when it comes to YouTubers. I always tell you guys, these are businesses. These are businesses. And to act, for anyone to act like they're not getting paid is silly. I always say that when it comes to creators. If you see them on Instagram and they're pointing at other people that are on Instagram, being like, oh, all of them are monetized, all of them are getting paid, this is their job. Anyone who acts like it's not is a straight up liar. And to see all these people sitting there being like, oh, I'm not getting paid for this, oh, I'm not getting paid. Get out of here, man. And this is not me just being like, oh, no. This is what they do. This is what you are. It is crazy to think that there's people like Baron pointed out. Gary's like on track for like 2,000 tweets about Candace. It's crazy, that I have to say allegedly, possibly getting paid. I don't know. No one's doing that type of stuff for free. It's too time consuming. Try to tweet 10 times a day. Try it. And then when you do get monetized on X, and you do tweet 10 times a day, okay? And then they say, for the month of you tweeting 10 times a day, here's $300. And you go, wait a second, that was a lot of time. It's not what's happening. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm on the other side of it. I know. It's just I know. I can't say how I know. I know. People are getting paid. They're getting paid. How are they not getting paid? Oh, it's $300,000. It's just my money. It's just my money, and I just want to give it up so I can have a good old-fashioned debate. Because that's what I care about doing when it comes to the Charlie Kirk show. The debate's not even going to make that much money. I've brought up this point before. It's not even going to make $300,000. It's not even going to make $100,000. It's not even going to make $50,000. Unless they put ads. Unless they do ad reads. Like every half hour, Candace stops and she talks about BB skincare, and then another half hour, Andrew stops and he talks about, I don't know, whatever cigarettes he smokes or whatever. Unless that happens, you're not making this money. It doesn't make any sense. It's so funny. Someone's like, I don't care about money. I care about justice. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. You're not at work, right? Okay. Everybody else you watch is at work. They're working. Andrew doesn't go, well, it's off to the salt mines. Well, I gotta go check into work. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? I was just online talking with that Candace Owens. She's something else. So what's going on? It's gonna be a long shift, 12 hours, right? It's not. None of them. No. None of us are doing that. None of us have full-time jobs. This is the job. So.
This video is sponsored by Craftsy. In the early 1500s, two of the greatest artists of all time were working just a few rooms apart in the Vatican. Michelangelo was painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel at the same time Raphael was working on a painting in the Pope's private library, the School of Athens. Both are considered masterpieces of the Renaissance. Michelangelo's work set out to reveal divine truth through the human form, while Raphael's work celebrates human intellect and classical heritage, two defining ideas
David Ellison dropped this op-ed, and nobody seemed to have noticed it, but it ties very closely to a CBS story that just broke this week. David Ellison, in defense of the Paramount Warner deal. So he basically goes on, of course he does not mention Israel at all in this op-ed. He basically paints himself as a guy who just likes movies and makes the argument that they're going to increase production and the industry struggling, so this will be really good for the industry. And hey guys, old Hollywood's gone. Even with this merger, we're only going to
Ow, bitch.
20% of media. Yeah, no, that's nothing. Controlling 1/5 of the media consumed in the country. Why would people worry about that? But here's the money shot for this segment. The issue is whether I can be trusted as a steward of Warner's CNN. There has been speculation about my politics, my loyalties, my intentions. Unfortunately, I can't give any one of you into my heart and mind, but I can share this. It's full of hummus, which itself has been appropriated from the native peoples of the land that I actually care about. I have regularly voted for candidates of both parties. I hold some
At the
views that would be
Muchen
called conservative, like I want all of your money to go to Israel, and others that would be called liberal, like I don't think we should shoot workers. I just think we should fire them. A lot of my peers disagree about that. Just like most Americans. And when it comes to our news operations, I do not aspire to lead these companies to bend their newsrooms to my views. I believe that news should be based on facts and truth. That is why we hired a failed blogger whose newsletter was being propped up by Zionist oligarch money and never had any viewership, even with all that money to build a footprint. Put her in charge of CBS. Great news organizations like CNN and CBS News are here to tell it straight down the middle. That requires newsrooms that reflect the whole world, not one side of it. And it requires independence. Our journalists will continue to answer to the facts and to all the people they serve, not to any party or cause. Yeah, well, these were founding principles for both CNN and CBS News. For legends like Ted Turner and Edward R. Murrow. Oh man, I would love to see Zombie Murrow smack this motherfucker. Keep my name out your mouth. And it is exactly that kind of independence that has always fueled the greatness of 60 Minutes. And there's no better way to demonstrate that than by coming in and firing all of the veteran producers and all of your best reporters. So, from Hotspot, CBS News under Barry Weiss buried reporting on major Epstein scandal tied to Deutsche Bank and Wall Street, where they failed to disclose over $250 million that flowed to and from Jeffrey Epstein. The reporter working on the story has been fired by CBS and later pulled the report entirely. So, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about for these rabid Zionists to be in charge of two of the country's major legacy news organizations. This is from Bloomberg. Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, Bank of America enabled Epstein, Wyden report said. That's Democrat Ron Wyden. Deutsche Bank AG failed to promptly report to U.S. authorities more than $250 million in suspicious transactions tied to Jeffrey Epstein, including funds used to pay women in Russia and other Eastern European countries, according to a new report prepared by a Democratic U.S. Senator. Bank of America Corporation reported $170 million in Epstein-related transactions connected to billionaire Leon Black, including some that the bank said had, quote, No
Hey, poor.
economic business or
Hey,
law
poor.
purpose.
Hey, poor, you don't have to be poor anymore. Jesus is here.
Report by Senator Ron Wyden, an Oregon Democrat.
Jesus is here.
Minority member of the Senate Finance Committee. Black.
Hey,
the former
poor.
Chief executive
Hey,
of
poor.
Global Management, Inc.,
Hey, poor,
said
you
he
don't
was
have to be
Epstein's
poor
vice
anymore.
state tax
Jesus is
and
here.
that he was unaware of Epstein's criminal behavior. Do you understand how fucking absurd that is? That the chief executive of
It's so
Global
good.
Management hired a math teacher to give him estate
like
and tax
oil.
planning advice. How ridiculous!
That's why I have to drink
that
decaf,
cover story
otherwise I'd
is.
have heart attack.
Yeah. See, if they didn't know what impunity they have, they would give Epstein a more plausible cover.
What was I gonna do just now? Yes. Hey, poor. Hey, poor. Hey, poor. You don't have to be poor anymore. Jesus is here. Okay, I'm gonna go treat myself to a little. Did I not grab him, Julio? Let's try that again. What is going on in here? Excuse me. Can I help you? Excuse me.
But, give him a more plausible front, right? And that's what I'm asking.
All right, guys, come on. Come on. Let's go. Out. Out. You. Jello-cat. Jello-cat does whatever a Jello-cat does. Come on. Come on, Nora. Out. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy. He's a good boy.
And his report criticizes Republicans for not assisting his efforts. The report also pointed to several of Epstein's associates, including attorney Darren Indyke and accountants Richard Kahn and Harry Beller, who managed and moved his money. Quote, at Epstein's direction, these three individuals executed thousands of suspicious cash withdrawals and wire transfers, potentially in furtherance of human trafficking, the report said. Disturbingly, federal prosecutors have never even questioned them in connection with criminal investigations. Never even questioned. The report said that the bank's failure to file notices of Epstein's suspicious financial transactions in a timely fashion exposed broader weaknesses in Wall Street's anti-money laundering controls, where compliance failures allowed a high-risk client to maintain access to the financial system for years. Yeah, because he was bringing in other clients. He was bringing in rich clients. They didn't want to stop the gravy train. Quote, investigations into the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein have thus uncovered an important finding that extends beyond Epstein himself. Wall Street banks have been willing to turn a blind eye to the suspicious transactions of ultra-wealthy clients, even if the failure to scrutinize and report these transactions runs directly afoul of federal law, the report said. If federal prosecutors are serious about preventing the next Jeffrey Epstein, they must hold Wall Street accountable. The report also says Wyden was interviewed about his investigation in March by then 60 Minutes correspondent Sharon Alfonsi for a segment the news program was reporting about Wall Street banks and the U.S. Virgin Islands government's relationship with Epstein. 2 months later, CBS News fired Alfonsi after she publicly criticized CBS News leadership and editor-in-chief Barry Weiss's editorial decisions involving
As long as
a
I can
different
see
segment she reported.
when I do
Neither the Wyden interview nor the broader Epstein story has
squats
aired.
and stuff,
Remember,
that'll be
that
good.
was the Venezuela Seacom story that she was behind.
Can you guys
And she
believe
came out
that
and
like
said,
this is
"Yeah,
literally
we told
my
the
life
story for
now?
no reason."
Like I don't live in a fucking tiny little bus
A
anymore with no
spokesperson
water,
for
no
CBS
electricity.
News
And the funny thing is I could have
confirmed
afforded
that
this
Alfonsi had interviewed
for
Wyden
so
a
long,
potential
but
second
housing is
March.
just so fucking
Said
hard
the
to
full
find.
story did not come together for airing during the 60-minute season that concluded in
Irony
May.
and all
The
that is
spokesperson
lost on
did not
me.
comment on any plans for
It's
the
crazy how
program's
this is
next
the exact
season.
perfect
And
house
this is
that I was meant to
updated
have
from Jason Leopold
all
from
along.
CBS.
Hey, somebody
We
gets
are
the fucking
proud of
memo.
our aggressive and
Front
extensive
242.
reporting on the Epstein scandal. That
Did you
reporting
Google the
continues.
lyrics?
We air pieces when they are ready, and suggesting that an interview is being suppressed for any reason is categorically false. Yeah, like the Venezuela Seacom piece, where they hid behind the false claim.
I'm
they
happy,
had
Jenny.
enough
I'm so
votes from
happy.
The administration. The administration had been asked. They refused to participate. So by that standard, you can't run anything where the party you're exposing is hostile to the report.
Right.
Because they're always going to refuse to comment, right?
Yeah, the Washington Post put a spike.
I have,
that
like,
he
hips
wasn't accepting
almost.
Trump because they reached out to Carolyn Levitt and she said this is bullshit. So what are they supposed to do? Not run it?
Right, exactly. All right, well, file this under It's a Big Club, and you ain't in it. It's from Sean Morrow. Wednesday at
Pretty
11
soon
a.m.
my
Pacific,
underwear will
I'll be
not
there
flatten
again.
my ass out.
Who's
Because
that?
there'll
That's
be
Nellie
muscle.
Bowles, free press writer, and
Actually,
Barry
if I tighten
Weiss's
the muscle
wife,
up.
regarding Jeffrey
Or, like,
Epstein's
do you
uncovered
walk around with
death.
your ass tight all the
Oh,
time?
look at
Is
that.
that like
This
what
is
people do?
2018.
Like, because my muscles are
They're going back
relaxed.
and forth. This is Nellie Bowles.
Is that what you have to do? Is just like walk around like this
Good
all the time?
morning, Nellie. Reconfirming you will come see
I
Jeffrey
feel like a sim.
today at
But that's like the
11
only way to
a.m.
make my butt show.
Thanks.
Is if I like tighten my
Big club, and you ain't in it.
glutes.
Well, my favorite tweet of mine of all time, personal favorite, is when it came out that Barry Weiss was in the Epstein files. I said, breaking. Jeffrey Epstein no longer least likable person in the Epstein files.
Well, you'd be hard pressed to find which of these two are the least likable. From Kathleen Kruger. LOL at this pic of Barry Weiss in Sun
I
Valley
should probably
with
stretch
Sheryl
a little bit
Sandberg,
first.
who's toting a copy
Let's
of
go
John
change our
Fetterman's
clothes.
book. Lean in, gals. Lean in.
Yes! Oh my god, it's fucking clean. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I'm gonna wear the shit out of you. Oh, I've been waiting for this to get washed for a week. Oh my god, dude, I love it when my clothes like hold me in. Like it's a hug. My underwear are a little tight, so it's gonna make me look like that mom character from Highlight magazine.
Giants working to suppress the Epstein story
Okay.
because they're all complicit.
That's better.
Nick Cruz.
Now I can
This is why we call
kinda
it
see.
the Epstein regime. Epstein
Epstein
couldn't exist
regime.
without support from major financial institutions and the corrupt PDF file protecting media class. Yeah. You want to see some evidence of that? Well, you've probably seen this. Some of you maybe not. This is reporter Amy Roback complaining on a hot mic that she had the Epstein story years before it broke, and they wouldn't run it.
3 years, I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. Was we not going to be? First of all, I was going to this is a stupid story. Then Alice found out that we had verbal allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us in many different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate or Will. We got also watched the story. She had pictures, she had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations that I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein is the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein?
How many, and it's degenerate and sick. How many more victims were created in those years that ABC refused to air this report? How many more victims were there who could have been spared? And hey, not just ABC, but people. Remember when ABC reported on NBC killing Ronan Farrow's Weinstein story while they had killed the Epstein story? Yeah. Big club, you ain't in it. Little more of this from Bloomberg. An administration official said the Treasury has fully cooperated with valid requests for information from Congress, which further demonstrates that Senator Wyman's public tantrum is simply a pathetic attempt at political theater. The official also
Damn, what am I
said
gonna
that
like hold on to in order to like warm up my glutes now?
accessed by, quote,
I was using my bed to like.
enforcement officers across 400 different state and local agencies.
I guess I could hold on here.
Wyman's report also says that all three banks failed to turn over documents about Epstein requested by Wyman and refused to cooperate with his investigation. The document also criticizes Senator Marsha Blackburn, a Tennessee Republican, and other GOP lawmakers, saying they obstructed his investigation by blocking the passage of legislation that would have compelled Treasury to release the SARs. A spokesperson for Blackburn didn't respond to a request for comment. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Like, why would you block that? Why would you block that? Unless you're covering up for very powerful people who are going to be exposed if that's released. In regards to Treasury, the Defense Department, wasn't the seventh guy who crashed the British Bank? I thought all these right wingers cared a lot about that until they got globalist. Sounds like a globalist. And hey, in regards to their claim that everything's available to law enforcement agencies, well, that's news to the AG in New Mexico, who's now suing to get access to relevant Epstein files.
True that they are continuing to work with you? It sounds like they've never worked with you.
Oh, that's right, Jake. They've never worked with us. But what has happened is we went to them discreetly. We asked for this information as a law enforcement agency. It's a very common practice for us to reach out to federal prosecutors and investigators and ask for the kinds of investigative files that are at issue here. They directed us to the District of New Mexico, which was odd. I will tell you, I'm a former federal prosecutor. I worked in that office, and I know full well that they didn't have the full range of files that we were looking for. Nevertheless, we complied with their request. We went through the 2-week process. We submitted a very particularized set of requests because Zorro Ranch comes up over 13,000 times in the Epstein Transparency Act files. The problem is that most of those files are redacted, and so our investigators can't make use of them. And so, the bottom line is they're not cooperating, they're stonewalling this investigation, and that's why we had to take legal action today.
Yeah, so it's an empire of rich PDF files and government people, some of whom are in the Epstein files, some of whom are just covering for people in the Epstein files. But you have the Ellisons, who are agents of a foreign power, buying up our media and shutting down news reporting around subjects that are embarrassing for the country that they actually serve. And then you have people like Trump, who I don't think he gives a flying fuck about Israel. I think they have video of him on that island. That is what I think. Because Trump is not subservient to anyone the way he is to the Israelis. Not even people who pay a lot for his subservience. He has a long history of stabbing people in the back when they don't serve his interests. He's pulling out a chair for Netanyahu, who's basically destroyed his presidency. There's no way. There's no way. It's beyond money. Money's not enough to explain his behavior. But looking at David Ellison's op-ed, which other reporting on this kind of flew under the radar. People didn't really pick up on that op-ed. Yeah, that happened at exactly the same time that this news broke. The idea, nothing to worry about. The biggest contributors to the IDF, the biggest private contributors to the IDF, which frankly, I don't know why that in and of itself does not require that you be registered as a foreign agent. If you're giving millions of dollars to a foreign army, isn't that by definition you're a foreign agent? You're working on behalf of a foreign government. And he writes the whole aw shucks op-ed. We just want to make movies. I'm just a guy who wants to make movies. And gosh darn it, we need to get back to a media people can trust. It's absolutely fabulous. So when you look at all those connections between the media, between the banks, between the government, yeah, I sympathize with people who say there's no...
Hello?
Yeah, what's open?
Okay, sorry, my kid called.
Like, you're not wrong. It's just not on the menu. I wish it was.
There's a saying, you know, if you're not poor, you're either...
Dude, I'm like, I can actually see growth in my body from this.
Temporarily embarrassed pedophiles who are not...
Like, I have butt cheeks.
Maybe one
They aspire.
Tiny little ones. But they're there. Used to be when I did this, my ass would be completely flat and have like dots all over it. You know, like, what is it called?
Right, yeah, exactly. That's
Cottage cheese? What is that called?
In Hollywood, in certain sections of the finance world, yeah, it's all just decadence run amok.
I can't remember what it's called. Cellulite, thank you.
It's not a coincidence. History will not look at this as a coincidence that the Epstein story is coming to a head at the same time that the Iran.
And now, there's definitively a crack.
Please squat.
Oh shit.
Yeah, really quick news breaking this morning. GOP senators vote to hold Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress for pleading the fifth during tense hearing. Fauci
Contempt.
was a target of the right since he served as a... What the hell happened?
It's dead, of course.
I think I erased the first paragraph. That's how breaking this was. I was throwing it together very quickly. Fauci, who's been a target of the right since he served as a top health official during the COVID pandemic, repeatedly invoked the Fifth Amendment right during his hearing, explaining in his opening remarks that he believed Republicans would try to use his testimony to prosecute him. Now, Republicans on the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee have pushed to do just that with it, the 8-5 party line.
What is going on?
Party line vote in the committee to hold Fauci in contempt. Now, at this point, they can either go right to the Department of Justice, or they can open this vote up to the entire Senate, which would likely fail since it would need to get past the 60-vote threshold. Quote, we are voting on whether a witness who has received the benefit of a sweeping federal pardon can be ordered by this committee to answer questions and then defy that order without consequence, Committee Chairman Rand Paul from Kentucky said in his opening statement at the meeting. The committee can refer the contempt of Congress resolution directly to the Justice Department or request that the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, hold a full Senate vote. Paul said yesterday that the first thing we will do if the resolution was approved would be to refer the matter to the Justice Department in anticipation that a full Senate vote would likely stall and or fail. If Jeanine Pirro, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, chooses to try to prosecute the case, her office would need to secure an indictment from a grand jury in the district where she has a mixed track record. Yeah, indeed. So the question, and we went over this when we covered the hearing, of course, Rand Paul kept contending that because Fauci had been given a pardon, he must then forfeit his Fifth Amendment rights not to answer questions. And there is some legal precedent.
My legs are so tired from work.
This is off the National Constitution Center blog, which is a good resource for questions like this. Do presidential pardons remove the Fifth Amendment rights of recipients? This precedent dates back to 1896, and the Supreme Court...
Oh, you know what I think I have on here?
The Walker, in his majority opinion, Justice...
Did that turn the fan off for you?
...found that if a witness...
Can you still hear the TV?
...received a pardon, he cannot longer set up his privilege since he stands with respect to such offense as if it had never been committed. Brown cited cases dating back to English law and the Aaron Burr treason trial as supporting that conclusion. So the theory there is if you've already been pardoned for an offense, that means in the eye of the law, you basically didn't do nothing. So if you didn't do nothing, then you have to answer questions about that since you've already been excused.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
For any wrongdoing vis-a-vis the pardon. However, there is some wiggle room, and this is why I suspect Fauci, after consulting with his lawyers, decided to keep his lips sealed. In December 2020, Aziz Hoop from the University of Chicago wrote in a Washington Post opinion piece that pardoned people are by definition no longer in legal jeopardy for federal offenses, so they can no longer claim any Fifth Amendment privilege in that realm, with Hoop citing the Brown decision from 1896. If they refuse to speak, the legislator can flex its contempt power. At one extreme, this could involve the threat of jail time, but it could also mean daily fines calibrated to the asserted wealth of a reluctant witness. I guess fine them until they finally agree to
Man,
talk.
my butt gets like
However,
swollen
the caveat,
when I exercise it.
against self-incrimination might still be relevant if someone is asked to testify.
And like it's
before Congress
temporarily
about
like
activities
fluffy.
that could violate state laws. In 2017, Harper cited one example in his Just Security blog post. Money laundering, for example, is illegal both under federal law and New York state law.
It worked.
And
That's
in
cool.
such fairly circumscribed cases, the pardoned individual
It's a live stream.
Fifth Amendment protection in discussing facts of relevance to those
Live streams,
and
by definition,
have here from
it's
the
live.
brain that brought you Alligator Alcatraz. This guy, the Florida Attorney General, has launched a probe into Fauci over COVID claims. So the fact that he's being probed in the states may give him a sort of plausible out to say, well, if I'm being looked into for state crimes that are not excused by my pardon, then I have the right to not incriminate myself by pleading the Fifth Amendment. I've also read that, you know, the immunity only applies to specific offenses that you've been pardoned for, which technically would mean that you could perjure yourself in the act of lying to Congress. If they ask you a question that you don't want to answer truthfully and you lie, that's a new charge, because that lie would have taken place, you know, on whatever the date was, July something, 2026. So when you add to this the fact that Donald Trump himself said he respects the pardon, I doubt.
I think my thighs are growing. Because looking at myself,
I think it's pretty obvious.
I've never had been wider here.
That he is going to walk.
I'm like almost exact. I am exactly even here and here. Like I had a corset. I ordered a corset, and I realized I'm a short waist, and I also have even. I'm exactly the same at my widest point here, and my widest point has always been my hip bones. But my widest point is actually right here right now. It is a fraction. It almost looks like saddlebags. God, I would love saddlebags so bad. I see my friends with saddlebags, and I'm just like, God, you guys hate it, but I think it's so beautiful. I would love saddlebags. I would love to be wider right here. Oh.
We'll pass this off to Hero, and we'll see where it goes from there. But
because I'm shaped like a box right here, so it's like flat and it's square.
But I would say
those guys.
I would say it's a real long shot. It's a real long shot.
Hopefully,
all the way to Fauci's standing trial.
Wisdom of crabs my ass.
booty muscles.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay.
I need to work this area right here is what I need to do. Okay.
We didn't really know enough about
Hmm.
it.
Could I use?
You know what it is? Like,
I wonder if
haven't
this is
messed
gonna
with
be
those
like
vetting
long
things
enough
since
or
before
too
they
long.
became that popular.
I think I know what happened, but I'll save that for when we talk about it.
Okay. All right.
What?
Goes,
You cannot come in here, no. 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 Go downstairs and go lay in Orly's bed. The AC's on down there. It's cold. It feels good. Go downstairs.
Little sausage.
Garlic bread.
That's not how you make sausage. If you make sausage that way, it gets in the way of the filching. It's terrible. You get the
No, that
sausage
won't
base,
work.
it comes out the ass when you soft the cock.
Let's try. You know what those girls do? Those exercises laying down? I wonder if that would work.
Yeah, no, that's typical of this administration.
I didn't have to
Again, the clean shoot straight.
I didn't have time to get to it because we have 2 months today. But yeah, they almost fucking killed Trump with a helicopter.
They forget and this is right after a story came out that they probably caused the death of people on a medevac flight.
Right.
Testing equipment.
Don't put your butthole in my face. Thank you.
To have a government that is this incompetent,
Even to the president. Now what's funny in terms of speaking with one voice.
I need to like
Trump, what did Trump say?
make this
I respect
side
the
area.
vote.
What is with the
This was
butthole in the
Trump's
face, dude?
guy. Remember? This was Trump's guy. It's like expecting Trump to pursue Epstein. Why would he pursue Epstein? He was a client. He wasn't just a member. He's also a client, right? He's not just the owner. He's a client.
He's not just the president of the hair club for men. He's also a client.
Also, Trump does not want to
Wonder if
set
I could just-
any kind of precedent for overturning
well,
I guarantee
that's
that.
true.
He's like, yeah, we're not going to go there.
So what is this? You get a federal pardon, they can still go after you in the States?
I guess if you committed a state crime within a certain jurisdiction. Now, I don't know what the specifics of that Florida case. As far as I know, I
Money.
believe there are 2 other state attorney generals that are opening up
Cats.
inquiries.
When the job requires
into
exactly
that.
0 cats.
Who knows if those are prosecutable? I have no idea.
Holy moly.
But what I do know is that
This shit
based
hurts.
on what I'm reading here, based on legal
Girl!
precedent and interpretations of
fuck.
various Supreme Court rulings, all you need.
I can't tell if my
especially
posture is
if you're
good.
kind
Are you
of
copying
like
me?
access to the best lawyers on earth, right? All you
Are
need
you
is a
copying
plausible
me?
out. Like you can
Right.
say they're threatening to prosecute me at the
Oh my
state
gosh,
level.
this
in
hurts so
various
bad.
states. My pardon doesn't cover that, therefore I have the right not to incriminate myself. Now, may he have been able to make that argument anyway? It's possible. Possible. It certainly strengthens his argument when AG Chudmeister here comes out and says, "Yeah, we're gonna look into it," because that to me makes it easier for him to wiggle out of it by pleading the fifth. Now, does that affect any case that comes forward regarding state crimes that happened between 2014 and now? Apparently, those state offenses are not covered under the card, so
I mean,
they
it
may
makes
charge him.
sense.
They may charge him with something anyway, right? That could happen. But that's a separate question. That's separate from the contempt of Congress. Contempt of Congress is a specific charge. In the McCarthy hearings, they got a lot of serving at least 30 days to a year in jail for that. Fine.
Could you move, please?
That very basis. That seems to be the grand goal going for now, and based on all this, there just doesn't really seem to be
Orly, I'm sorry, bud. She's not supposed to be in here either. Stop licking the carpet, you weirdo. Money, oh my god. Little hop.
As of the reporting this episode, it has been 24 weeks since Nancy Natalie disappeared from her house in Tucson, California. The mother of the nation was Hispanic Hungary was missing nearly hours on February 1st, 2026, and in the months that it followed, public
I'm sorry, Orly. I keep forgetting not to touch her.
agency bickering, ransom notes of sexual harassment, and a sense of wasting time in sort of
Money. Butthole right in the face.
all against the backdrop of an unforgiving desert where someone could disappear in seconds.
God bless America.
Nancy got three face thanks to her youngest daughter, Savannah, being on the show. Nancy had a bureau show with the Times, which recently ended November 25, when Savannah came home to Tucson and went around town. Nancy visited her parents, the Amy's, husband and Jordan's father, Charles, lying in the mirror. And in 1988, he died unexpectedly on Friday with eczema. Up until this point, Nancy had never worked outside of home, but now, at age 26, she was suddenly doing a good job, raised two girls and a young adult son alone, take care of both aging mother as well as her brother with Down syndrome, and do it all while in the state of California. And she had done it, rebuilding her own life while also ensuring that her children's lives had a Now, Savannah is the most high-profile of the country.
I think I should probably do the little rubber band and then do this because God bless the butthole. in my fucking face. My cat, I swear.
The majority of the Guthrie siblings' childhood memories took place in a 3,100 square foot
Oh my
home in
God.
Catholic Foothill.
She's a burning. She is a burning. Yes, I see you, cat. I know what you're doing.
And even after her children had all grown up and moved out, Nancy remained. Living alone, thanks to proximity and help of Angela's mom. And by January of 2026, 84-year-old Nancy was as mentally sharp as she had ever been, although her body was starting to protest. She was on daily meds for a heart condition and chronic back pain, and while she could walk as far as her mailbox on good days, by this point in her life, her mobility was limited, and walking more than a few feet just wasn't in the cards, as elusive as she came. In an interview, Savannah remembered being 16 and returning to this house after school one day, only to find her mother and sister sitting on the couch praying. They learned their father had died. Nearly 30 years later, this same house would be backdrop for another tragedy, where the children would once again have to face the loss of a parent. Only slowly this time, and with very little information. I'm Ian Mattis, and welcome back to the World. Today's episode focuses in its most core sense on the invasion of privacy. When someone breaks into a home, they're doing more than just stealing possessions. They're stealing your sense of security and comfort, turning a place you once felt safe into a place where your possessions, your information, and even your life could feel at risk.
I don't care about this Nancy
Guthrie security system, a guard dog,
case.
or the thing we keep in the side table drawer in case things get.
I almost touchscreened it.
All right. Let's get into this. Acting bots. Joe Rogan thing. It's disappointing. This whole Joe Rogan thing. This fiasco. Having Andrew on. And listen. If I don't know, if they're friends, if it makes sense. I can't be like, hey, I always dislike, being in the Rogan community, watching Rogan, and people being like, how dare he have that person on? He can have on whoever he wants. Let's be real. The only problem is acting like this guy is the expert to talk about this with. When it came to Philadelphia, all of a sudden, Joe couldn't just have Dave Smith on. He had to have that.
He didn't do it, Money. He didn't do it. It's okay. Oh, no.
Blah, 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 blah. So when it comes to Philadelphia,
Stop. No.
it has to be fair, and you gotta be sure.
One of them broke.
But when it comes to this,
Go, boy. Go lay down.
it's like, let's just get the guy that pushes the official narrative.
Fan is broken.
That's it. Man, sad. I'm starting to feel like, I'll talk about it in a second. All right, let me see here. What clip should we bring up first? Let's bring up this clip first.
Right, our verbal online war. Do you think there's any possibility that if someone else killed him? Do you think there's any possibility that he was assassinated by Israel?
Well, when we're talking about possibility, almost anything's possible.
Almost anything's possible.
But there's not good evidence to support it, and there's probably pretty good evidence not to. So for instance, the guy was still very much a pro-Israel guy, even up to death. It is true that he was fighting with donors about the cause.
But if he could have been a substantial roadblock to the Iraq war, or Iran war rather, if he was a substantial roadblock, that's not outside the realm of possibility that a nation state would take a guy like that out.
They didn't take out Fuentes. They didn't take out Owens. They didn't take out Ian Carroll. They didn't take out any of these other huge personalities.
Bet none of them run a
I think Charlie was
fucking
very different.
organization.
Carroll, Fuentes is more easy to dismiss because he said so many wild things, shit posting. He said so many crazy things that I think he is almost embodying in their eyes, like the crazy anti-Semite.
Now, we get to this. This is exactly what Asmongold brought up. Funny, they have the same talking point here. What do you immortalize somebody as? How would you like to immortalize someone if you have the choice to? Do you want to immortalize them as someone who hates you and has been talking about you? Let's say you've done something wrong. They start talking about the thing you've done wrong. They start talking about how terrible you are, and then they're off.
Okay, I'm literally done.
They're now
I've done my
immortalized
cue,
as
and now I have to
someone
clean
who's
my house.
calling you out on the thing you did wrong.
Look at that ass. My God. It's huge. It doesn't just go straight back when I look at it. There's like a roundness here that has never been there before. I can't believe that. This is wild to me. Those exercise girls are faking it. Because, like, I do not have, like, an ass. But if I stand... Whoa. Can't even balance. Like that. It, like, gives a full fucking... That's why they pose like that. Fakers. Where's the, like, class where all the girls teach each other the way that you're supposed to, like, is there some class? We're all just supposed to, like, look at each other's pictures and suss it out? Like, what the fuck is that about? Baby, when the lights go out, anything you think it come to me. No, baby, can't you see? Baby, when the lights come out, baby, something to me. I don't understand why that popped into my head. I haven't heard that song in 35 years. Not even sure if I even heard it much when it originally came out. Okay.
And all of the things that you were doing wrong. They're changing their opinion on you. Their opinion completely changed on you. They had a terrible opinion on you. And then you take them out. Well, that doesn't make any sense to do. You get them while they are still your friend. You get them while they are still seen as your biggest supporter. That way, if they pass away, right? Let's say you've done this, right? They pass away, they now look like your biggest supporter forever. That's what happened with Charlie. Now, I'm not saying who did what to Charlie, but I am saying he was supposed to be, you could tell by the way it happened with the fact that there was pictures.
Dry hair.
The president posted this AI picture of him, was it him and Charlie hugging with the blue and white flag behind them? It was such a crazy image. He was reposting stuff like that. Other people were reposting these same things. He was supposed to be immortalized as their biggest supporter.
I just feel like
that's what they were trying to work towards. They showed the letter.
It still has
they
some
said
trying
so
to
much
do.
love.
Let's
they
do
even
this.
played off the group message as Josh Hammer said, oh, Charlie was blowing off Steve. He was just joking. That was just a joke. Candace Owens reveals text messages that are along the same lines. He's clearly not joking. You don't off somebody. You off me right now. What if you immortalize
That
me
will
as?
circulate the air a little better
And
over there.
What does everyone who feels
This, I
like
think,
Ian
is
all of
done.
a sudden feel like? Well, they feel like there's
No.
deeper into what
Okay.
Ian was
That
telling
washing
everybody.
machine still
You're gonna
has
think they're
some
vegan.
juice
That's why they don't
and
take out
whatever
Candace. That's why they don't
time
take
to
out
go.
Ian. That's why they definitely don't take out
So
Fuentes.
we're going to
What do they do
power
instead?
clean the
What do they
living
do
room.
instead with Fuentes? Now, I can't say anything happened, but I will say this. When it comes to the official narrative, he's all about the official narrative now. Now he's calling out the people that were once on his side. He's saying, these people suck. Yeah, I saw a clip of him yesterday. He goes, the Team Gentile just sucks. There was one time when he was talking about Philadelphia, and he was saying, man, sign me up. Me and my Zio Ranger friend, we share these clips all the time. I keep laughing. I was on the phone the other day. I was like, you guys converted? He's like, not yet. Get them on your side. Then if they want to do away with them, they can. They say, what do you mean? Even this guy who had this heart towards us, this dark heart, this hard heart towards us, he changed his views and then he passed away. But he passed away for some out here. So that's why that is. Listen, again, very disappointing. Very disappointing that you said. You're just like, hey, we got this guy. This guy can really iron this out. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. This guy has access to Candace Owens. This guy has access to Carol. He could be like, hey, you're my guy. You're the research guy. He's had Dave Smith on 97 times in 1 year. I mean, what are we talking about? He could easily reach out to me. Listen, I need to talk about this Charlie thing. I need somebody who just has the information. He'd be like, cool, let's go. I got you. I can help. I can help you iron this out. But instead, it just happens to be Andrew Wilson. Again, shout out to Andrew. It's great that you're on Joe Rogan's show. It really is. Great for him. It makes Joe look. I'm sorry, this is embarrassing for Joe because he knows better. And you know that he knows better, and he has access to Jocko. He has access to Green Berets. He has access to Rob O'Neill. He has access to whoever in the military. Really, I mean, so much of his security is ex-military. He has access to so many different people that he can talk to about this. He has access to policy. He has access to Joe Kent. He has access to everybody. But the person that he brings on is Andrew Wilson. And listen, nothing else. I'm very afraid of big, huge things. Like Candace was like, I want you on my show. I'd be like, oh my God, I'd be so nervous. I'd be like, geez, now I gotta prep for this the whole damn time. Same thing. He was like, hey, I'm gonna be on my show. I wouldn't be like, oh, here's my chance, guys. I'd be like, oh God, this is terrible. This is gonna be the worst thing ever. I do that every day for the show. I'm like, I'm not gonna make anyone laugh today. I'm not gonna make anyone laugh today.
Come on, scissors. Desperately need scissors.
This is Joe's humiliation ritual. Yeah, sit down. You're gonna sit down, listen to Andrew Wilson. You're not gonna put it back properly. You're gonna just, you're gonna sit here and talk to me. Who's gonna help you talk to Joe? He's not. Like I said, he has access to people a lot. And like
$300,000 to do it today. They're like, we'll give you $300,000.
What is her position? What does she think happened?
She thinks that Israel worked in conjunction with TPUSA and Eric Kirk to murder Charlotte.
Based on what?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Nobody actually knows. She's never presented a single shred of evidence thus far that Israel worked to murder Kirk, that Erica Kirk certainly didn't. In fact, her position for the longest time was if Erica Kirk comes out and tells me to stop this, to stop the conspiracy on their side, well, so Erica did. She went out publicly and she was like, enough. You're just causing more problems than good here.
She did not say those words. Erica did not say those words. She said stop. And that was in reference to Barry White saying, what would you say to her?
Well, that term
Stop.
fucks me up every time.
Stop. That's all. Erica did not say a sentence. She said stop. That's all. Stop. That's what Erica actually said. In reference to that.
There's this
Oh,
investigation.
got me right in the
And then
face.
suddenly Erica's now part of the conspiracy. But by the next day, she's trying to cover it up. She's part of the conspiracy too. When I went to the TPUSA HQ, and I talked to Erica briefly while I was there. The first thing I did was what I think every normal world
Damn it.
being would ever do. I gave her home. And I told her how
My nails keep catching it on this thread.
Like, can you even imagine how that's got to feel for her? Especially now that she has tens of thousands of people accusing her of murder and conspiring to murder and then cover up what happened to her own witness. That's like
Fucking Beyblades everywhere.
Lay low for a little while. Going out with the smart purse was not a great idea. Like all that was not a great idea because it just seemed safe. And maybe sometimes in grief or when you're trying to show that they're not going to hold us back, people make choices that could be interpreted as very bad.
100%. Like, what's the deal with it? What's with the abolition of the yeah, it's like, look, I was put in like the worst spot I could ever think of. I was in the background here. I was just there to support my husband. That's it. The only reason I even really got involved is because Charlie was so pro-man. You know, he wanted to demonstrate to the world he can be married and have kids. This is the good life. So when he dies, she takes over, right? This moves over to her control. She says, well, the first thing I want to do is honor his last will.
God damn it, Heather.
You know, that's the very first thing I want to do. I want to honor his legacy. She's like, I don't know exactly how to take this position. At the same time, there's expectations for the organization my husband built that I want to honor, right? But, you know, also in grief, it's like, I don't know how you balance that position. Who's been in that position ever?
Right. And especially who's been in that position that's not accustomed to being scrutinized in the public eye.
Everything. And
This is what I mean, this is a very poor excuse. You're saying, what's with the behavior? She says, well, you know, the first thing, look, and I've never been in this position before. What are you talking about? See, this is going over the premise that it's like, oh, it's just a little odd, and it was just the sparkles. It's not just that. And here's the thing. Both of them know. That's why I don't like this again. Because both of them know. He knows. He knows the other one. Because he has friends, he has people to talk to him about it in 3 rooms, he has his own curiosity. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. This whole thing is just ridiculous. So he's sitting, he's just acting like, oh man, wow, yeah, you're right. Oh, he knows about the he knows about the insurances, he knows about all of these things. Both of them. It's just such a weird I already thought it was weird because I listened on the first time, and I didn't even think anything about him. I was just like, oh, I just figured out his fault. And then I listened, and I was like, oh, this is like left, right, swap stuff. Like, talk about the book at all. And then the next thing you know, he's just talking about Philadelphia and why what they're doing in Gaza is correct. And you're like, oh, that's why it's on the show. And then they talk about it for 40 minutes. It's like 40 minutes out of 2 hours, and you don't talk about the book at all. Like, oh, okay, so that's the agenda. You know? You see it time and time and time. And you just have to watch it. That's the thing. I watch the show so much. I watch it every episode once. So I see what's happening. I learn about it. About how you talk about it. And that's one of the things. You know? Joe did change it. Yeah, and like I said, like I've talked about this before, the administration, what turning point is to the administration, in my opinion, the turning point is to the administration is what MSNBC was to the previous administration. They were clearly connected. And turning point is clearly connected to this administration. It's just weird. And again, Johnson and Joe Rachel Maddow, the reason I say that, they use Rachel Maddow all the time to get their points across to the previous administration. And with Ben Johnson, now the use office, okay? It's the same thing.
It's a lot of charitable so that's you say also lazy never gets more. You don't actually never once gotten to work on time. That's right. But the way that these people are scrutinized that person does, they can fire out anyone. Because that statements like that, which as you say, I mean all never you don't literally mean just never give up time. Nobody talks that way. But if you push everything a person's ever said, they misremember an event, they don't misremember an event, you can make a liar out of it.
Right. Yeah.
That's where it's screwed. All that public talk. And it was dramatic. Things would have a public assassination like this. It also exposes people's
Character, the self.
oh,
And they have to, they can't. And they have to be around how to respond. Because some of them are fired, some of them are attacked online, and rightly so. But it's just a pretty people.
and leftists who celebrating that, they do the same thing.
Well, it's again, I wonder how much of that is enforced and promoted online. How much of that is propped up? How much? Because you can change the zeitgeist. You're 400,000 pounds. You really can. You really can. You can change it with politics. And also, it's not all bots. It's some of it is people that are being paid to have a position or have made their career from having a position. And their career is about attacking one side or the other. Their career is about enforcing one ideology or the other. And they get into the mix too. And they have a large following and people love it when someone is prominent and agrees with whatever their ideology goes with. So they support it and they pile on.
Good at spelling stuff.
100,000 of bots that are piling on as well. No one really knows whether or not this is a rational, organic argument. They're in the fucking frenzy of a mosh pit.
Do you remember years ago that the Israelis sent over that Stuxnet virus that took over the centrifuges?
Let's see what else we have here. But it's just, yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Not really at all. Is that an Andrew? Did you hear that? Yeah, you know, I still give it credit for things like that, you know, but it feels like me doing that right now. Like someone's like, oh, Andrew needs to do that. He said that. You know, he's trying to like imply to Andrew that you're one of those people. That feels like people say that, oh, you got to trust the president. This is just 5D chess. He said he loves inflation. That's just the 5D chess word. You know, it's like, trust the plan. Like Dan Bongino, trust the plan. 5D chess. It feels the exact same way if I say that about Rogan. I know that he has done that in the past, but I feel like I can't do it.
Oh, it
And
smells
there
so
was
good
also
in
that
here.
Israel supposedly had offered him $150 million to be more pro-Israel.
I love my house. I love my house. I fucking
You've
love
run into is
my
I've never been able to
house.
verify
I used
that
to
was
say
the
to
case,
myself all
and
the
I
time,
guess
like,
where
oh my
does
god, I
that
love living in my
claim
bus
come
so
from?
much.
This
Even though I'm
claim basically
suffering
comes
without
from this
running
camp.
water or
Do you see what I
electricity,
mean?
I just
Like,
love
where
the
does
fact
this
that
claim come from?
I don't have to
You
pay
have to
like
understand,
rent
no
or
matter how this
electric or any of
podcast
that. I
started,
just love that.
the fact that
You know,
they're
whatever.
talking
But
like
you
this
know
now,
what?
this is
I'm
the
gonna tell you
reason
right
that it's
now.
on here. This is how
I
interviews
find
work.
now that I have a house and I'm
I
paying
have worked in
rent and electric
in
and all that
movies,
shit.
I've worked in shows from
I
Netflix,
am
major,
so happy to
all
pay
sorts
that
of things,
bill to
independent
have
stuff.
this beautiful home.
That ran my
I
own
will
interviews. This is how
pay
interviews
rent
work. People
with
talk like
bells
this.
on
They
if
talk
it
like
means
this
I get to
before
live in
interviews.
such
What are
a
we going to
gorgeous
discuss?
fucking
What's
place.
going on? It's not just rant. The
And I get to like
how it's
spend
painted
my
is
time
Joe just goes, "Hey man, it was
cleaning
great
my
talking
house
to you.
and
Come
like
on
touching
down
my
again.
stuff
Can
and
you be
organizing
here in
my
Austin?
stuff and
We're in East
looking
Austin.
at my stuff.
Come on
It makes
down."
me so happy. I just
And
love
he
my
says,
house so
"Oh,
fucking
man,
much.
Great. Oh, come on down." That's not what happens. They discuss what they're going to discuss.
I need to make a loaf of bread for work tomorrow.
Maybe it's not like actually.
And then I need to make sandwiches for lunch tomorrow.
It's not to that extent, but it's like.
I guess I better get on that.
Is that okay? Yeah.
I kind of wanted to make pancakes for dinner.
Because for him to be looking at Andrew and saying, "Where does that claim come from?" What is going on? Like, you have so many people asking that question to. On top of that, he knows. He's already
Counter's still
exhibited
wet.
other podcasts that he's done. He's talking about the same thing. So this is all a position for Andrew to say what Andrew has to say. And what we all believe for Turning Point is saying through him.
Without anything substantiated.
So it's the same people who are pushing this thing to Turning Point Kills.
What's interesting about this is like it is indeed true. It does appear that Charlie Kirk they were upset that he had platform Tucker Carlson. They were upset that he had platform Candace Owens. They were upset.
Sure, this milk
Very
warmed
anti,
up.
or at least had it somewhat anti-Israel message at the time. Carlson, I think of it more Candace or maybe hers. I don't think of that matters. Pro-Israel is something so Kirk was lamenting the side of his text messages about this pressure he's experiencing from some of his donors and not everything their platform. So it's a negotiated piece. He said, well, probably the pro-Israeli cause can't platform. And that was kind of what his question was. That seems like platform. I don't know. Even on Twitch politics or YouTube politics with smaller channels, smaller streamers, they argue about platforming all the time. Responsible platforming. Is it responsible for you to platform this guy? Or is it responsible for you to platform this terrorist? And they're endlessly fighting about it. So this actually doesn't surprise me a bit that these guys are fighting over who you can or can't platform. If you're giving your money to an NGO for the purpose of getting the pro cause, and that NGO is saying, wait a second, I'm going to platform people who are against your cause, of course the donor's going to get pissed.
Yeah, the platforming thing, I think, is just gatekeeping. If you're upset that someone is having a conversation with someone you don't agree with, you're supposed to hear that person's perspective. You're supposed to hear them challenged. You're supposed to hear them allowed to flesh out the full point of view.
Yep.
Anyway. So, yeah, that is the basic of it. They get to talk about this topic for a good, I don't know, it seems like 30 minutes. Maybe they get into the 40-minute range. But that is the crux of what they're talking about. And then they get into just some, culture war type stuff, left-right stuff. That's basically it. So you can tell it's Barron talked about it. Barron said it, really well when he talked about the dark web and like Rogan was the top of it. And once you saw Rogan, you were released as this anti-establishment voice, and that was the pecking order you had to go through.
Yeah,
It was
like
Harris, Shapiro, this guy, this. That's when he made it. Yeah, just weird stuff. Some of this is pretty much. He's like he's like Jordan Peterson's alter ego.
Active dry yeast, 2 tablespoons granulated sugar.
And the saddest part is, why wouldn't you do this? If you have access to this person with this mutual what? Of course, that's what you do. Again, I don't want to say it's not push back. Because I don't like when people say you should push back, you should relationship with that. But I know
Oh my gosh, y'all. I forgot I have this.
Text messages. He's talked about this with his friends already. I'm pretty sure I've seen him talk about this with campaigns, and I think he's talked about it with friends on podcasts. He's talked about this. He knows this in and out.
Stop! It has a light on it.
Say that. Oh, that's the reason he was saying it. Because. And again. Why not talk to your
Cool.
That just makes sense. If you're gonna talk to anybody about this, in and out, who's really gonna give you the research that they've done. I mean, we could they say Candace never has any evidence. Gary says
It works.
Why? He's just straight up liar.
It works. That's so cool. Oh, I'm so excited about that.
And then Baron and Daisy.
What does it say?
105
to 110.
I think Candace and it will be that. Baron may have a little bit. Like Baron has said, he doesn't go on vacations. That's it. Because Baron is open. He would really give you a breakdown. It's the exact opposite of Andrew. Andrew will talk about anything because there's an agenda. If Baron doesn't know something, he's gonna have to know. There's been multiple things throughout this interview that Andrew doesn't actually know, and this talks is what he knows. So, sad for him. Very sad. It's being exposed more when the podcast is becoming, and it makes me, what I was gonna say before I had to run off camera for a second, it makes me look at the Cash Patel interview differently, because, this guy's, just BSing her out there. It's like, again, let that case,
Almost there.
He has access to the DNI. He knows the DNI. What are we talking about? He knew what Cash Patel was doing. But he acted like he didn't. He didn't know. What Cash Patel was saying was wrong and a lie. Well, then we would have just heard that as truth on that interview. Anyway, Joe Rogan, friend of the show.
I wonder if anyone's ever made cereal milk bread. We measure with our heart. We don't measure with measurements. It's alive. I didn't want to kill you. Excuse me, just scooch right over. Thank you. Don't want to hurt you. You are so good at making messes, Heather. Let me wash my hands and get ready to fucking knead. There, it's starting to come together. that was happening. Damn it, I hate that. Hello. There's the elasticity. Yeah. First rise, 1.15. My dishwasher. Nah, I don't like women's MMA fighting. I don't like getting hit, and I don't like hitting other people. Marshmallows at the top. I do want to try kickboxing though. I am interested in kickboxing, but not like fighting other people, like kicking and punching a bag. They're after me, Lucky Charms. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. God, coffee is so good. This one has like extra large unicorn marshmallows. They're magically delicious. I'm good, Starla. Preparing for my family member to come and visit me today. She's coming from Florida. She's gonna stay at my house. I clean things, Starla. I clean houses, I clean yards. I clear out woods.
Guys, I was scrolling through my phone the other day watching the United States collapse when I came across the trailer for Apple TV's newest show, Blurringless. Now, this is a rarity because trailers for Apple TV shows are only usually seen by a very select few group of chosen people, and then everybody else just finds out about the show 3 years later with clips on X. And what a happy happenstance, because I just so happy circumstance to like science fiction. That makes so much sense in my head. In a world overtaken by a mysterious wave of forced happiness, Carol Sturka, the only person immune, must uncover what's really going on and save humanity from its own bliss. That's enough to spike curiosity. What do you mean forced happiness? And why is that a bad thing? And who the hell is Carol? The blurb gives you just enough without revealing anything about the story, while also summarizing everything
My truck
pretty
is
well.
at the shop.
Carol is our hero. Happiness.
The guy said, so we took it to get diagnosed. He diagnosed it. He said that my transmission looks great. There are no metal shavings in the pan. He said that he's pretty sure that it is my solenoids like Josh had sussed out. So he changed both of the solenoids, but while he was doing the work, he accidentally broke a hole in my exhaust. So he had to send it to a welder to go have the exhaust welded. Once the part is welded, he's pretty sure that the truck will work just fine. He said that if it doesn't work just fine, that he's 99% sure that it will be the computer, and so just replacing the computer will fix it. I wonder if this milk would be good to use for blooming my yeast. That is active yeast. It's gonna rise like a mofo. Do the dishes, make more dishes. 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 Run from the gun like you know. I wonder if my stomach would hate me if I ate some olives right now. I got purple Kalamata olives. Oh, they're so good. Oh, I can make olive aioli. I wonder if I can't. I can use my mortar and pestle. Let's figure out how to prepare our mortar and pestle. How to season.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to season your mortar and pestle. It's important to season this before your first use to make sure that the bowl is properly First, wash the mortar and pestle in warm water without using soap. Let the mortar and the pestle completely dry. Then add some white rice into the bottom of the mortar. I add enough to fill the bottom quarter of the mortar.
Ooh.
Then use the pestle to grind up the rice. Let the pestle use its own weight to do the grinding rather than forcing the pestle down into the mortar. This makes it much easier on your wrist and on your arms. As we grind down the rice, it's going to knock out any loose stones or pieces of rock that's still stuck in the mortar. This is the important part of seasoning the mortar to make sure that you don't end up with any rock or residue. You can compare it against a fresh rice to be sure of the texture. If the rice is gray, the dishes will grind back into fresh rice. Continue repeating the grinding with fresh rice until the rice is ground up and remains its white color. You can see that the rice I'm using did turn a gray color, and you can actually see a little bit of gray chunks in there that are fresh from the mortar. I repeated this process again with a new batch of rice. Once your rice stays clean and white after it's ground up, it's time to add in additional seasonings. For these seasonings, I added some whole black peppercorn and 5 cloves of garlic. You want these new additions to be a difference in texture and have a little bit of liquid to them. The addition of liquid will help form a paste that pulls out any of the stones that are still stuck in the mortar. I'm also taking care to bring the mixture all the way up the sides of the mortar so that everything will be fully cleaned and seasoned. Once this is fully ground in, throw away the mixture and rinse your mortar and pestle in warm water. Again, don't use soap. Let the mortar and pestle fully dry and it's ready for use. Thanks for watching this video. Season your mortar and pestle. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below.
Alright, while that's drying,
subscribe to see more
we'll
content.
listen to another one with the Mexican who knows what they're doing. Okay, maybe a Thai person might know what they're doing.
สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. So if you've seen more than a few episodes of Hot Thai Kitchen, you're going to notice that I use
Ooh, she has a really big one. I want that
This
one.
is a tool that is used all around the world, but for Thai people, it is absolutely core to our kitchen. Every Thai kitchen has
I love the culture lesson, but I just want to know.
And then I don't know about you, but it feels like 90% of everything that I cook involves garlic. So peeling and chopping garlic is the bane of my being, but it is much less painful in a mortar and pestle. To peel it, just give it a couple of good smash, and then the peel comes off super easily. I don't usually bother removing the bottom brown bit of the garlic if it's small and not hard, but if it is hard, you can just slice it off using the edge of the mortar as the cutting board. This is a trick that I learned from Thai street food vendors when they don't have space for a cutting board. Very handy. For rough chop, I can just pound it a few more times and leave it chunky, good for stir fries.
You didn't get
But
all
if you want it
the
minced
stuff
rather
out.
than just cutting them, more cells are
this is
chilies. And
you're just telling me what you can use it
and then
for.
the next rice without favorite towels and see you to spice ground in and then do a thing all for half a teaspoon of cumin, right? Like I totally get it. But if you keep your mortar and pestle on the counter, which I recommend you do, you can just reach for it, and this is how fast it will go. I will show it to you in real time. Teaspoon of cumin. Do I need to season my mortar and pestle before I use it? This question comes up a lot, and some people will recommend that you should grind some raw rice in it the first time in order to help clean out, bits of rock that might come off into your food. Ow! Let me first say, when you use a mortar and pestle, you're grinding stone on stone year in, year out. There is inevitably going to be tiny particles of granite that will come off over time. You can tell because an old mortar and pestle will be smoother than when it started out. This is fine because granite is made from minerals that are not toxic, so this is not a problem that you need to worry about in the same way that if you cook food in a
I just
cast
remember a
iron pan,
Mexican
some
dude
amount
that
of
I
iron is going to come off into your food, and
follow
that is totally fine. With that
doing
out of
it
the
with
way,
like oil or
I
something.
have never done anything to my
I gotta
new
find
mortar
this.
pestle aside from just giving it a good wash.
Where's my homeboy at? Isn't it funny? I just saw the intro to how it's made and I immediately heard it in my head. Bow, 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 bow. Aha.
Sabadi Pinong, hi fam, welcome back to Sang's Kitchen. As you can see in front of me, I have you can make the concoction thing. I want to show the design of it. Also know that the weapon to it. Now this one's for one J. These have a lot of mixing papaya station. So I use done it. That's up. Like cut this up. Even if show you see and let's just of this. These collect dusted. Check in here some new watches. So it should be a little over the past hour.
No. Aha, Mexican in the kitchen. Thank you.
Welcome to another episode of Mexican in the Kitchen. I recently bought this granite mortar.
He had
I don't
the
know if
exact
you
same
know,
one that I
but
have.
Usually you have to season them before the first use. This is how it looks at the beginning. This is just straight from the store. And as you can see, it's a bit rocked on the inside. So first of all, I'm going to rinse it. At this point, you might be tempted to use soap. Soap is one of those where opinions get divided. I've read some opinions where they say you should use soap
Drink
to
water,
make sure
Heather.
it's clean. Some opinions that say, okay, the rock or the granite is a bit porous, so you might get some of the scent lingering in there. It might penetrate your mortar. Personally, I skip the soap because we're going to use garlic anyway, and garlic has some antiseptic properties. If you want to use soap, then I recommend you use some non-scented one. Once I've rinsed my mortar, I'm going to set it aside, just leave it there so the water drips out and wait for it to dry. Once the mortar is dry, we can start seasoning it, and for that I'm going to use some rice. You might have noticed I have a chopping board under my mortar. This is because it's quite heavy, and I have a wooden table so I don't want to damage it. Seasoning your mortar is quite some work. You might be moving it around and you might end up scratching the surface, so be careful while you do this. One thing to consider is this is quite some work. You don't have to fill your mortar with rice, just a small handful is enough. If you have the chance to do this outside or somewhere where making a mess is not a problem,